Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson on place value. Okay, so we're talking about hundreds, tens and units today again, but this time we're looking at the notation board and not the abacus, okay? So you're going to practice using your hundreds, tens and units on the notation board. So here is our first example. We have 168, okay? So we have to show this on the notation board. So we look at the units first, and I think, right, it says 8. Let me count up my 8 beads on my notation board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, that is correct. Then I look at my tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tens are 60. Then I look at my hundreds, and there's 1 bead there, so it's 1. So my number is 168. Okay, now you're going to try B. So units, count them up for me there. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 units. How many tens are there? Has to be less than 9. 1, 2, 3. 3 tens are 30. And how many hundreds? 100. So 137 is my number there. Now, you are well able to do that. That's the rest of the activity there. Then question 2, this time around you're given the number and you have to show that number on the abacus, okay? Again, try to use the smallest marker that you can and think of your colors. Use green for your units, red for your tens, and blue for your hundreds. So here, I would have 7 beads in my unit side because there's 7 units. I'd have 4 beads in my 10 section because there's 4. And then I'd have 1 bead on my notation board in the 100 section because there's 100, all right? Now, girls and boys, I think that you are going to find this activity very, very manageable or doable, that you're going to fly through it, okay? Now, if you think this was really, really easy for you to do or you found it okay to do, I have set you another challenge. But if you found that this was just enough work for you, that's fine, okay? Now, in the challenge, we're just looking at adding. Now, we're going to go back over some rules for adding tens and units really fast because you're well able to do this yourself, okay? So, adding tens and units. What's rule number 1? Rule number 1, we add the units first. Very good. So, add my units. 3 plus 4 is 7. Good job. Then, step 2, I add my tens. 1 plus 2 is 3. Super. See, you guys are well able for this. So, adding tens and units. But I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Dun, 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 dun. And I've put in hundreds, tens, and units. So if I rub out my 37, now we're going to look at adding hundreds, tens, and units in our vertical way. So same rules apply. Step 1, you add the units. Step 2, you add the tens. But this time, step 3, you add the hundreds. All right, so let's see. Let's add our units first. 3 plus 4 is 7. Good job. Then I add the tens. 2 plus 1 is 3. Excellent. Then I add the hundreds. 1 plus 1 is 2. Super job. Okay, so that's my example. Remember, step 1, add the units. Step 2, add the tens. Step 3, add the hundreds. Okay, now on your activity, you're going to see a page like this, and I want you to give it a go. Remember, step 1, add the units. Step 2, add the tens. Step 3, add the hundreds. And have a look at them. There's no carrying over, so you won't have to carry over a 10 or carry over the units or anything like that, okay? So just adding up your units first, then you add your tens, then you add your hundreds. Give it a go, see how you get on. And the last challenge for you is another mystery number. So for example, I am 3 tens more than 110. I have 4 units. So I'm just going to do this as an example, but give you another one in your activity. So I am 3 tens more than 110. So I have 100. So I'm going to think about it in expanded form. I have 100. Then look at my tens. There's 10 here and there's 3 tens here. So that's 10 plus 30 is 40. Very good. 40. And then if I think about how many units do I have to add in? I have to add in 4. So look, that's 100 and 40 and 4, or 100 plus 40 plus 4, which makes 144. So my mystery number is 144. Now you'll get a different puzzle in your activity.